If you're an Excel user, it doesn't take long before you've got many different spreadsheets that you may need to combine. In this tutorial, I'll show you two important techniques to do just that. Now, the first of these is really a simple technique that you can use to move sheets from one workbook into another. Start off by opening up both workbooks that you want to combine. I like to put them side by side to keep them both in view easily. Then, hold Control on your keyboard or Command on Mac and click on each of the sheets that you want to copy. Now, right-click and choose Move or Copy. On this new window, the first thing that you'll want to do is choose the file name from the drop-down of the workbook that you want to move things to. Then just pick where in the workbook sheet sequence that you want to paste it. I also click Create a Copy and then press OK to copy those sheets over. You can see now that the workbook is all put together. The downside of this approach is if you change one of the workbooks, they don't really stay in sync. You're really taking those sheets and picking them up and putting them in another workbook. They're two separate copies. But this is the simplest and quickest way to migrate sheets. Now, the next technique is much more powerful and really automates rolling together all of the files that are in one folder. Instead of opening them one by one, there's an easy and automated way to combine them. Let's start off by taking a look at this folder where I have several files that I want to combine. The most important thing about this technique is making sure that your data is in the same format. In this case, that means the data all looks the same in terms of columns. Excel is going to roll all of these different files into one big table, so it's necessary that the original data is in the same format with the same columns in each tab. As you can see here, I've opened up a few of these files and they're all the same, so we're ready to go. Jumping back to a new workbook, I'm going to start off by switching over to the Data tab. You'll see a Get and Transform Data section, and this is Excel's powerful suite of tools to work with data. Let's see that in action. Click on New Query, From File, From Folder. Let's browse to the folder where all of my files are stored, as you're seeing me do here. Now, this window shows some basic metadata for each of the files that we're set to combine, such as the file name, the date created and modified, and the path to the file. All that we really need to do here is confirm that all of the files we want to combine are in the list. Then we'll press Edit. Now we're working in what Excel calls the Query Editor, which is a separate window where we can work with the data. Again, we only have a view of the metadata over the files at this point, with the same file name, creation date, and more. To go in and get the data from the files, all we need to do is click this little icon in the upper right corner of the first column. Once I do that, you'll see that Excel shows a preview of the data. Let's go ahead and press OK. This is exactly what we wanted. We now have all of the data from each individual file combined in one place. As I scroll down, you can see that eventually we jump from the first to the second source file, but all of the data is in one place. Now, to send it back to regular Excel, let's click on the Close and Load button here. We're back in Excel now, and we can work with the data just as we would normal data in a spreadsheet. The query just did the hard work of consolidating it all together for us. Imagine using this feature to roll up multiple files from different members of your team. Choose a folder that you'll each store files in and then combine them into one cohesive file with this feature in just a few minutes. I'm Andrew Childress for Envato Tuts Plus, and thanks for joining me.